Hey guys, how is everybody doing tonight? I am coming to you live from a different location than I am used to, and so I have everything with me to show you tonight. I brought it all along for our journey that we are on right now. All right, so as you come on, say hello, tell me where you're from. I am located in Utah, and currently I am in southern Utah. It's a really beautiful red rock. It's just gorgeous down here. So I want to make sure I can see your comments. For just a second, make sure, if you guys are watching this, the replay, be patient for just a second, or you can fast forward. Okay. Okay, well, I can see that you guys are watching. Hopefully we'll get comments this time. I've been having trouble with that on a few lives. It's kind of frustrating. I don't know why. If any of you know why, and you want to leave a comment that I can read later, that would be excellent. Anyway, so today I am going to show you, I have a heart, just a wooden heart that I found. I got this at Walmart for like $3. You can probably find similar items at the dollar store, thrift stores, places, things like that. So if you can find yourself a cute little wooden heart, grab one. And I'm going to be using stick and style stencils. This is the Calypso Lattice stick and style stencil. So I'm going to use this. I am going to use the chalky white chalk paste from Redesign with Prima. And hey Roz, okay good, yay, I can see comments, that makes me happy. Then I can respond to you while we're live. And I'm going to be using the Sparks, Arc Alchemy Sparks. It's unicorn's hair. I used it a little while back, but it's a really pretty kind of shimmery gold metallic color. Because we're just using a small project, so I only need a little bit. So, and then I brought a tote. I brought some stamps, and I brought a tote, and I want to show you guys how I'm going to stamp that too. So we'll just do 2 small projects this evening. I know I usually go live during the day, but we had to switch some things up, so here we are. So first, I'm going to paint this the chalky white. If you get these little hearts, they're cute. You could paint, I mean, you could stain them and use paint over the top if you wanted. That would be really, really cute, especially with some of the new stencils from Redesign with Prima. There's a few that have kind of like that boho, a light and airy feel and prints, and they're just beautiful. And it would be really cool to stain that a dark color and use one of those new stencils on it too. But today we're just gonna paint it on there. It's kind of thick. I brought this, usually I use Wiesel. I brought this with me because I was heading out of town for a little bit, and I wanted something that I would just grab that was really small. All right, so I'm just gonna paint this whole thing white, and I'm just gonna kind of do a rough coat. It doesn't have to be perfectly covered, but if I just do a really light coat, then this will dry fast enough for us to be able to do our stick and style stencil. And it's also gonna give us kind of like a beach, like a beachy wood feel. So I'm just gonna put it on like this, and I'm just kind of using my brush. And normally I use my Klingon brushes, but I have this little cute tiny brush because it was easy just to throw in my bag. Okay, and then let's get some more. And we're just kind of, it's kind of dry brushing, except we've got, I don't care if some places have quite a bit of white. That's gonna be hard for you guys to see, I'm sorry. Some pieces have quite a bit of white, and others are thinner. I want it to look like that. Sorry, that didn't make sense. So that's why I'm not just doing like a traditional dry brush. So we can have some spots have really bright white and some spots just barely there. A little bit more. Then we'll set this aside and let it dry for a minute while we do some stamping on this tote. And then I think it will probably be dry enough that we can go ahead and stencil over the top with our metallic. I think that's gonna be really beautiful. Okay. So just a very, very light coat of white. It almost kind of looks beach washed a little bit. And set that aside, let it dry for a minute. And then I have a tote. So the totes, you can, Redesign with Prima also carries the totes. And you guys can buy those, and then you can have friends over and paint a bunch together. You could give them as gifts or just have them for your shop or whatever. They're really cute. Let me show them to you. So they're like this. They have a little button in the center, a little snap, and then it has the handle, small handles here, and then it has a big handle so you could like throw it over your shoulder. But they're pretty big. They have 2 pockets in the front. They're really, really cute. And they might have different styles, but this is just the one that I have from Redesign with Prima. And I am gonna resituate just a little bit so I can kind of pull this in front of you. And I'm hoping I don't have to flip the lights on. The place that we're at right now has like really yellow lights and everything looks really weird colored. So we are gonna try it without. Okay, so I brought the alpha stamps, which is the alphabet, because I thought that would be cute maybe to do on our heart. And I brought the floral script, and I used this last time too, but I just love it. It's such a beautiful stamp. So it has words and it has roses on the top and bottom. Well, let's see, there's like a little angel on it too, up at the top. A couple of them, like playing the cherub, is that what it's called? And then this is the floral at the bottom. And I love that there's 3 separate pieces, so I can use this piece, I can use all of them. I'm just gonna go with this one. And since I'm stamping on fabric, I know, I love it too. So since I'm stamping on fabric, I'm going to be using, there's a couple different mediums I use to stamp with. I either use a fabric paint, I use Wise Owl Chalk Synthesis paint, the chalk paste from Redesign with Prima, and then I'll seal that with like a salve. If I'm going to use the Color Philosophy ink pads, then I'm gonna use it on something that's not really heavily used. Now these ones are permanent. So there's 2 different types of ink pads you can get from Redesign with Prima. The Decor ink pads, these ones are they're not permanent ink, okay? So these ones you have to wait a while before you seal. These ones are permanent ink, and I accidentally got some on another pair of pants and I've washed them twice and I can't get it out. So I think it's pretty permanent. So we're gonna go ahead and use this on our tote here, and then we can get rolling. Don't ever use a latex paint on fabric. That's never going to work out for you. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the black. And these are also stackable and they're magnetic, which is really nice. If you guys haven't seen them, I like that about them. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my stencil here, and because it has the clear back or the colored backing, I can take my tote and I can hold it up and see exactly where my stamp is going to lie on it, and I'll know what that's going to look like. So I can kind of place it with that in mind. I keep thinking you guys can't hear me because I've been with my whole family for like stuck together for almost a week, and it hasn't been this quiet, so they all took off on me, so it feels like eerie. Okay, so I think I'm going to have the stamp just come from this corner and come right down. And maybe I shouldn't have sent my family away, and I might have to go turn the light on too, you guys. We might have to do this. Let me move you over here. Roz can hear me, that's good. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or, I guess it's a good thing. Okay, I'll just move it back just a tiny bit. And we're gonna grab our black. Oops. Oh, I already took it off. And our stamp. And I'm just gonna stamp this ink right onto the stamp pad, okay? And I'm sorry not everything's in front of the camera, but we're working with what we got here. We're figuring it out. Okay. Another thing to note, when you're stamping an ink pad, I'm being very careful, don't do it on a couch because it's bouncy and your ink pad moves. See, we all learn something together. Don't stamp your stamps, ink your stamps on a soft surface. And you know what else? I probably don't want to be pressing this stamp onto my tote on a soft surface either. because then it's gonna move. So look at that. We all just thought of that before it happened. I'm so glad. Now we can avoid it. Okay, so we're gonna grab this because it's right next to me. For those of you just joining, I told everyone at the very beginning, don't expect too much because we are not in our normal filming location, and I brought what I have with me. Okay, I'm gonna touch this one more time just to make sure our ink is spread out evenly. And then I'm just gonna take my tote right here, move it back so you guys can see, and I'm just going to press it. Now I've got a firm surface underneath. And I always keep one hand on the stamp and kind of press, and then I move my other hand up to slowly stamp the entire stamp. And it is getting kind of dark, you guys. I might go turn on the light for us. Okay. So just make sure the whole stamp's on there. Peel it up. Then we have our, you guys see that? Isn't that beautiful? On our tote. And I could take the alpha stamps and I could put them, the letter stamps, and I could put them right here, and then we could write something. You could give it to someone that's custom. I think that would be really cool. You could totally do that. Okay, there's that one. I am gonna turn on the light because I feel like we're just gonna lose each other. So I wish I had something for you guys to look at or do while I'm walking away from you. I apologize. Let's see. Turn on this light over here. Okay. I think we got it. Okay, so we've got our tote all stamped. So cute, love it. This will be fun to try. You can use that on aprons. Aprons would be awesome. I think that would be a really fun gift too. Okay, so let's see how we're doing over here. We've got our heart we painted, just a really thin coat of the chalky white paint on it. It's dry enough. And I'm gonna take my Calypso lattice. I don't want you guys to fall over on me. Stencil. I've got some scissors right here. And then I'm just gonna kind of roughly measure that heart in the center and then cut off the excess. That way I can preserve the rest of my roll. And if I want to reuse this section, it's easy for me to do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my heart and I'm gonna put the stick and style stencil right in the center. Just paste it right there. And then I'm just gonna press it down. Okay, and then I'm gonna take our metallic, which is the unicorn's hair, the Art Alchemy Sparks unicorn's hair. It's really pretty. It's like kind of a gold. This is definitely not studio lighting, so I apologize for that. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of my unicorn's hair and I'm just going to kind of dab it right over the stencil. But these are really beautiful because it just gives a hint of something underneath, and then I could go even further to layer it with letter stamps or number stamps or molds. Molds would be really beautiful, over top of something like this. See how pretty that is? It'll be just a real light gold over the white. Okay, let's look at this and see what we think. Okay, so we got it all painted on there. You could use a sponge, you could use anything that has the round Klingon brushes are awesome for this because you can kind of stipple the color on, or if you just have a little brush, they have some harder brushes from Redesign with Prima that are very small, and those are awesome to stipple small stencils and stuff on too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and peel this back. Ooh, that's so pretty. And then I'm gonna set this just over here and just barely stick it to a wall. And then I can go back if I'm gonna do a bunch of these, and I can reuse it over and over until it stops sticking. Isn't that beautiful? I love that together. That's just such a pretty combination. So now we have a 2-layer background, one with just whitewashing a little bit, the second with our stenciled Calypso Stick and Style stencil with the metallic. So we've got 2 layers, and then I can go on with a mold, or I can put my letter stamps and write something on top. I could drill a little hole, 2 holes here, and hang it from something cute. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do to spice up, you know, those little decorations that you find at Walmart or the dollar store even. Okay, let's see. I think I was gonna show you my lettering, but I wanted this to dry first. Well, let's just talk about that. So I like the letters, the alpha letters. I think they're really fun to write a couple of words, or if you have a really large surface, you can write many words. Just it kind of depends on your project. And I like this stamp because I can pull it apart in 3 parts. But guess what? I've never used the word part. And I think that might actually look kind of cool. So let's do that. So we've got our Stick and Style. And then let's take our words, because we don't know what they say. They could be really romantic. And if they're not, then that's too bad. Oh, I think they're names. Yeah. I think they're names, actually. I wonder what they mean. Okay, so I'm gonna take black ink. Thank you, Jose. How are you tonight? Or morning, wherever you are. Okay, and I'm just gonna stamp this right onto our letters. Oh, guys, it's getting so dark. I had this great plan and it's failing me. Oh, well. Good. That's okay. Okay, so I'm just adding the black ink to our names, I guess. And then I'm going to I'm going to set this down, and then I'm going to hold it up so you guys can see. And we'll just kind of go right below the line. Now I stamped pretty much the whole thing because I wasn't quite sure where the stamp was going to lie. Okay. Oh, I love that. I actually really like that. That's super cool. Okay, so maybe I do want to use that stamp more often. I love that. That's beautiful. It's just the handwriting, everything. That beautiful old signatures is amazing. This is cool. Yes, okay, so now not only do I recommend that stamp because I love the roses on it, but apparently I also love the names on it. And you know what? I've never used the top either. So the top has those little angels. Let's stamp them and we'll put them up like in the corner of our heart. We'll do that and then I'll let you guys go. And we'll get pictures in the light so you guys can actually see this. So I'm just putting the black ink on again. And I don't care if it kind of gets on like the foliage around them a little bit. I don't care if a little bit that gets on. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want only a certain thing on there, then you're gonna need to be more precise. But cherubs, yeah, that is right what they call it. Okay. And I think we should do it up in this top corner. So, like I said, I apologize for the crummy setup, but okay. Let's see how this looks when we pull it off. Okay. That's cool. Ooh. I like that too. That is so cool, right? So now how many layers do we have? We've got our paint, we've got our stencil, we've got stamps, we've already got 3 layers. We put on a mold, or you could take molds and make a shape, and you could have a picture frame up in the top corner, and that would be really cool too. So there's a ton of things that you can do. Just get creative. So layer it, start from the paint, add your stick and style, add your stamps, go for it and add a raised stencil over top of that, and then throw on molds on top of that. You have a lot of dimension, a lot of things for the eye to look at, and you can make some really cool things. So go try some of these out, and let me see your projects when you're done. Next time I will be on Apple Blossom Way at home going live with you. See you guys.